You can see right here, debris in the tree. This is from the high water mark during a flood in July. Built right on this steep embankment, right here, along the river, right here, is this stonework that starts right here. What's interesting is that this seems to be built to recognize the high water mark. As you can see right here, the water came to right there, and this feature is right at that line, right at the high water mark, as if whoever built it knew the water was going to come up this high, or perhaps it was built at a time when the water was consistently this high, which was the end of the ice age. This is the high water mark, and this feature did get a little bit of water, it looks like. It did right there, but it's right at the line, and it's built on boulders and bedrock. But look at the decay and weathering on these stones. And you look below, you can see that there's two different stones pretty much. What's exposed to the weather and elements, and what's protected below. Some more heavily weathered stones. Again, it's sitting on bedrock right there. That is bedrock. This is built directly on bedrock. And that's an interesting feature right there. Kind of like a snakehead shaped boulder that's perched on top of some more bedrock. Look, take a look at that real quick. Even has the location of where I would be. And that's sitting again on bedrock among this rocky landscape. But that's a pretty unique looking feature right there. And that is looking, look at this. This large boulder is looking where another stream comes down into. And that stream is actually part of the Indian Road, which was a natural passageway through the Green Mountains for the last 12,000 years. A colonial guy in 1730 followed that stream because he was following the Old Indian Road, and in his journals he mentions that stream right there, the one that this boulder is looking at. Look at this erosion on the stones right there. Some more heavily eroded stone right there. There's a nice little feature within the wall itself, or stone row itself. Big quartz boulder right there that is right directly in the stonework. Here's the landscape. Again, I doubt this was ever farmland. As you can see, it's very rocky, steep, and it abuts the river right here and is in the flood zone. Now you do have a gap right here for a spring that comes down. You see water right here. Two triangle boulders pointing at each other where the spring comes out. More indications of the flood right here. A lot of sand. And right here, some more evidence of bedrock, that this is sitting directly on bedrock. My guess is this is why it's still standing so tall and so strong, because it has a firm and solid foundation. Prime example right here. That's bedrock. So this whole thing is built directly on bedrock. Which you can see right there. This one boulder has all these little smaller stones on top of it. That is something Native Americans did. They would place a stone in honor of the ancestors in piles like this. Manatu Hasanas is what some tribes call them. So it started down there at the tail end of this feature, followed it. As you can see, there's gaps allowing natural springs to flow through, big quartz within the construction. It's built on bedrock, and it comes to an end at this triangle shaped boulder right here that overlooks the river right here and this bedrock outcrop. This is the natural feature it's sitting on, that sits on the river. So you have connections to the underworld here. You have connections with streams flowing down through the wall. It runs next to the river itself, which is a connection to the underworld, especially this giant slab of bedrock right here. This is an old ancient pathway through the mountains, and it still is today, as you can see. So I think this is a good contender for a serpent effigy and a ceremonial stone landscape.